This is DX Central Live. 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 This is DX Central Live.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
The Gulf South
to your corner of the world.
This is DX Central Live.
Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
And welcome to DX Central Live, folks, right here on YouTube. Happy Superb Owl Sunday. Yeah. Can't get in trouble if you don't say the name right. Welcome, everyone, to a special edition of DX Central Live. From the North Shore Studios here in Mandeville, Louisiana, I'm Lloyd Van Horn. We're going to have some live AMDX tonight. We're going to finish up our weekly challenge, our medium wave frequency challenge. This week we were on 1080 kilohertz. Going to put that one to rest for this week. And then I've got something, since this is Superb Owl Sunday, we've got something superlative, amazing, awesome, fun, cool in store for week 13. Lucky week 13. Well, I tell you what, we're going to have some fun with this one. I can't wait to see what you guys do here in week 13. We have done a little bit of work here in the shack. You guys might notice my microphone's on a different side than it was. We have a new microphone here for our ham radio work that we have when we do voice work on ham radio. We have some contests coming up here in March and so forth. So added in the Hale ICM microphone here. Got a nice little flag on there for DXC so we can represent whenever we do live streams. And we will be live streaming like contests and stuff like that. So make sure you stay tuned for more information about when we do those if you're interested in joining in with us and watching the live streams when we contest and stuff. A couple of pieces of business before we get into our top of the hour time frame. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like as well. If you like what you're seeing here, leave us a comment and feel free to join us in the chat. We're all having a great time over here in the chat as always, so be sure to check that out. We have a new video I'm actually going to be shooting. I shot the video once. I didn't like how it turned out. So after our live stream is over tonight, I'll be heading back out into my workshop and doing some not live, but some video shooting out there. I'm bringing the DSLR back out. I haven't touched the DSLR in months. So broke it out tonight, charging the batteries and everything, getting it ready to roll so we can do a new video for you guys. I'm not going to tell you what it's about just yet, but I promise you, I've seen a lot of people on social media talking about this topic lately. And so it's one that I feel is pertinent. And it's not just like right now time. It's pertinent all the time. So hopefully you guys will appreciate that video when we have it launched later this coming week, hopefully, if the editing goes well. Also, twitter.com/DX Central. That's where you can follow us, where we do all of our, anytime we're out in the shack DXing, I'm always just live tweeting while we're DXing, anything we're hearing, kind of what we're seeing on the bands, and so forth. So, and also whenever we drop a video, a live stream, our air checks, all that kind of stuff, we put it there on Twitter, twitter.com/DX Central. And we have our website, rather, DXCentralOnline.com. You can find all of our great DX tools and resources there. Again, DXCentralOnline.com. If you're a newbie or want a refresher or just want to find the DX 101 area, be sure to click on that green beginner button, or you can go up to the top, go to DX 101. We've got all kinds of stuff. We've got a glossary of DX terms. We have an abbreviation list. I have pre-prepared QSL cards and reception reports and cover letters you can use. We've got a DX Central wallpaper you can download. We have tips on propagation, gear reviews. We have band scans that we did, one right now that we did in Lake Forest, California, and all kind of the stuff that we heard when we did the band scan there. There's FM, there's AM, there's tons of links. Just go check it out, DXCentralOnline.com, and be sure to let us know what you think. You can also subscribe there as well. That way you'll be notified when we make updates to the website. All right, so I'm keeping an eye on this sucker over here as well because, we have some Louisiana ties there. But we are now getting into, you guys know what time it is. It is that time. Break out the radios, my friends, and join us for some top of the hour time frame. We've got a couple of things we're looking at tonight. We've got our Perseus SDR with our 16 by 53 foot CAS antenna oriented at 150 degrees, so we're looking due south, which for us this week, we're looking for on 1080, the Cubans. There's two Cubans down there. I've heard one. There's also some Colombians and some Central Americans down there. There's some other stuff, so we're looking for that. We're also sitting over here on our Elad FDMS3. We had some trouble with it earlier in the week, but we got it working now, so we're good. And we also have available, though I'm not going to probably have it up all the time because it's 3 of these plus the stream is kind of eating the resources here. We have the RSPdx, the SDRPlay, RSPdx, got an echo in my ear here, that we'll be using with the W6L VP loop. With the Elad, we have the two other CAS antennas. We have the northwest southeast and the northeast southwest. Let's go now. Let's start with the RSPdx. With the W6L VP loop, we're going to cut this back just a bit, and we're going to see what we can find here. We did hear, I just saw Mike mention XETUL down in Mexico, just gave a full ID. We did have them in the log this week as well, so let's see if we have them here. Let's go back to the Jaguar Pro software and the Perseus and see what we got. I'm assuming that's them. Tonight we're being fueled by Irish Channel Stout from Nola Brewing Company here in the New Orleans area. So right now here on 1080 we've got XETUL in Mexico. They were, Mike, when I got them earlier this week when you helped me with that one. That was the new one for us. So we'll be celebrating those here in a few minutes for anyone who got some new logs. If you got a new one this week, drop it in the chat. Let us know. New country, new state, new log, just a new station. Let us know. Mexican National Anthem now. About 7 till. I feel like they've been getting longer, Mike. Like I've heard some where I normally would cut off and they just keep going with the anthem. Like verse after verse after verse after verse. See, normally that's where the pull is still going. And I think we have Cuba in there right underneath. I thought so, Mike. And I'd heard the other one, too. The state anthem. You'll probably hear that one at some point here, too. And we're still going. Speaking of, haven't put it in the notebook yet. Printed that sucker out this week. IRCA Mexican log. And we're still going. I'd say this is the most common version I hear, Mike. I'm not sure if that's what you're noticing as well. This is probably the most common version I hear when I'm DXing. All right, Bill. This is the state anthem, right? Yep. Now it sounds like they're going down a bit. And I'm assuming that's Cuba coming up underneath them. The only one, I've been chasing this kind of religious station that has, every time I've heard it, like a guy preaching, kind of monotone kind of preaching. I haven't been able to get it, who it is yet, but I know it's got to be like Colombia or something in Central America, but I want it really bad. We've got ourselves a nice little lesson in Mexican radio tonight, with this one coming in as strongly as it has, and Mike giving us kind of the details on what we're listening to here. So hopefully this might help some of you all out that don't hear Mexico as often. Hey Tom, welcome. Welcome to the party. And what's crazy, we're just now past the top of the hour. After all of that, like 6-7 minutes of the Mexican national anthem and the state national anthem. Now we're just now into the top of the hour. Nice one, Rick.
Buenas noches a todos los oyentes que están en la sintonía. Hoy es domingo 13 de febrero del año 2022 y ya están listos los vagones de madera lavada para llevarlos el estelar sabatino musical.
That's Cuba, right? Yeah, that's Cuba.
Segmento de interés y lo bueno del pentagrama musical
Hey, Troy. Welcome, welcome. Same here, Troy.
Producción musical y dirección general de este servidor, Noel Chinaco Guerrero, que cada sábado y domingo los invito para juntos disfrutar 178 minutos, 2 horas y 58 minutos. Y este programa dedicado de manera especial a todos los que aman y se dejan amar. Allá 14 de febrero.
So that's Cuba. He's been doing that trilling all week. Let's move over to our RSPdx and the W6 LVP loop.
Matters to you is on Odyssey. News, music, sports, and podcasts. Download the Odyssey app today.
We're pointing pretty much at KRLD.
53 degrees at 8:03. Good evening, I'm Bill Brooks from the 1080 KRLD News Center. There appears to be no slowing in North Texas living prices. January sales figures from the Metro Tax Association of Realtors.
So I don't know if it's true. I heard there was a no call on a pass interference, like, that the Rams didn't get the call.
Home sales are now averaging more than $465,000. The most home sales in January were in Tarrant County, nearly 1,800.
My sense of balance is restoring now.
Jim Barton, News Radio 1080 KRLD. Tomorrow is that big day. Following the Super Bowl, it's Valentine's Day. Spending is expected to be up this year. That's according to a survey done by the Lending Tree.
Up about 44% compared to last year. So on average, folks with a significant other say they're going to spend about $208 on Valentine's.
I heard it was a PI. It was a non-call on a PI. Bengals should have been called, and they weren't called. The Rams didn't get the call. Oh, well, there's plenty of time left.
U.S. price of a gallon of gasoline.
Where's my cup of tea here? Get a sip. But that's none of my business.
5 cents a gallon. Nationwide, the highest average price for regular grade gas is in San Francisco Bay Area at $4.75. The lowest average is in Houston, and I've seen.
So we got KRLD here, and then, like I said, we had Mexico and Cuba over here on the Perseus. Such a shame. Okay, I don't like it when officiating is the storyline, right? But it's the Rams. And I have no sympathy. Zero sympathy. We're going to be getting to some mail tonight. We got some email that came in this week, so we're going to tend to those, answer some questions, and a couple of other little things here in some mail. All right, so it looks like Cuba's taking over here now. So, Cuba, Mexico, KRLD. It's kind of story of my life this week. That's what I've been kind of continuing with. And then another Spanish religious station that I just haven't been able to pull out. I didn't hear Louisville, though I haven't really had a lot of time for DX this week, unfortunately. So I'm sure if I spent more effort into it, I could have probably pulled them out. But didn't hear Louisville. I didn't get a chance to pull Hartford yet this week. Hopefully some of you guys did. I know last week we gave some tips on how to listen for the little Beethoven sounder at the beginning of the top of the hour. Hopefully that helped some of you. Maybe add Hartford to your logbook. Fingers crossed on that one. The couple times that I had a chance to check, I didn't hear them coming in. So, again, I didn't have a ton of time to really pour into it here. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to tend to some mail. We got some mail to tend to. And then we're going to do a little bit more DX as we prepare for the top of the hour. Don't forget, I'm going to put the form link here in the chat for the 1080 link. That way you can finish up any logs you have for this week. I think I have one I need to add, actually. And then also, don't forget, we'll be doing at the top of the hour here at 9 o'clock Central Time, 0300 UTC, we'll be doing our new frequency of the week. And I tell you what, folks, this one is gonna be awesome. You may even say super. We'll be right back.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
Since 1933, the National Radio Club has been serving AMDXers while providing some of the most in-depth information in the hobby. From the annual NRC AM log, a must-have reference for domestic station information, to antenna design reference manuals, and of course, the DX News Member Bulletin, which is filled with station information updates, domestic and international loggings, and a whole lot more. Become a member today. For more information, log on to nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org. While the HF bands can be filled with entertaining and intriguing transmissions, how do you know when and where to look? Let Teague Publishing's Global Radio Guide lead the way. In addition to its exhaustive list of time and frequency for international broadcasters, radio hobby icon Gail Van Horn brings you equipment reviews, an SDR buyer's guide, feature articles, and more. Pick up your copy today. Visit teaguepublishing.com for more information. That's teaguepublishing.com. From the pages of its DX Monitor Member Bulletin, members of the International Radio Club of America share their domestic and international AMDX loggings. In its Mexican log, a wealth of information can be found of stations from south of the border. Technical guides, sunrise, sunset maps, and more make the IRCA a must-join for any AMDXer. For more information, log on to ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
From the DX Central North Shore Studios, this is DXC Live. Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
DX Central Live here on YouTube. Every Sunday night, 7:45 Central, 1:45 UTC. As always, we thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you being part of the fun every week. I know we've had some great conversations already here in the chat, so really appreciate you guys and gals. We have DXers from all walks of life and all regions who join us here each week. So we appreciate you sharing your day, sharing your evening, sharing your expertise with us here. So thank you so much. Let's do a real quick look at the DX Central mailbag here. We get some emails every once in a while, and I usually just respond to them directly, and I've done that, but I also wanted to kind of touch on it here in case some folks had some similar questions or some similar thoughts they wanted to kind of look at. Let's start with this one. This one is from George. George wanted to let us know he'd been looking at the site, liked the information that was there. Thank you, George. Always appreciate the kind words. Had a couple questions. He's got a Elad FDM Duo, an SDRPlay SDR, an AirSpy HF Plus Discovery, an ICOM IC7300 for ham radio, and a Flex 6400. My jealousy knows no bounds on that one, by the way. That's down the road. Save my nickels up and get me one of those SDRs one day for my ham radio stuff. So great collection here. We'd love to know what antennas you have as well, George, if you have a chance to drop that note to us. Let us know what you're using for antennas. He wants to deploy Jaguar Pro. Looks like he needs a Perseus for that to happen. So two questions. And these are probably some of the most common questions I get about kind of the setup that I use. Is the Perseus really that great? I suppose the Jaguar software is. I wish I could use it with what I already have. And two, if I do get a Perseus, how difficult is it to navigate, install, and use? I get the impression that the learning curve is steep. So first question, is the Perseus really that great? Well, it's the gold standard of SDRs in AMDX and has been now pretty much since the day it came out. Now, are there other SDRs out now that can sort of compete with it? Yeah. The AirSpy HF Plus Discovery is pretty close. The Elad FDM, I know you have the Duo. I have the S3 here. That's pretty good. Pretty close to the performance of the Perseus. I think it was $750 something, almost $800 when I got my Perseus from HRO. Don't go out and buy one of the super jacked up $1,600 models you see on eBay. That's stupid. Go to HRO, ham radio outlet. They are selling them much, much cheaper, and they're the legit thing. It's what I got sitting right here. Is the Perseus really that great? I always say this comes down to a personal kind of observation. It's a very high-performing SDR, and that's not going to change. The fact that it does a great job at performing with AMDX is not going to suddenly just stop being true. I mean, it's always going to be a great one. Where the rub is can you get that performance at a cheaper price? You can come close, I would say, at least. Maybe not exactly, but it's pretty close, I would say, when you're looking like an AirSpy. Even the RSPdx from SDRPlay, it's not, I think the AirSpy has a nudge on it, personally, that's me, but I think it's still relatively close, and I think the price is definitely a lot cheaper than the Perseus, if you're looking at just SDR to SDR comparisons. And, you know, the AirSpy, the knock on that for a lot of AMDXers is you can't record the entire band. You're only limited to about 912 kilohertz of bandwidth or whatever. But I feel like, you know, you can get around that. I do. When I take my AirSpy portable, I get around that. I'll do, like one day I'll do sunrise recordings on the low end of the band, and then the next day I'll do sunrise on the upper end of the band, and sunsets on the upper end of the band, and the next day I do the lower end of the band. I just kind of swap out, right? So I think you can work around that. I guess the question here to ask yourself is the Perseus worth it with a Jaguar for AMDX? And that's, for me, now this is my personal preferences and whatnot, I bought the Perseus so I could use Jaguar software. I was wanting to get into offsets, and I know there's other programs where SDR Console, you can do offsets with whatever you're using, but I felt like what I saw with the Jaguar was much more robust. Plus, there were other features that were there, and it was kind of designed for AMDX, so I wanted to give it a go. And it's changed how I DX. Now, that's because I primarily do either AM or FM DX or ham radio. I'm not a big shortwave guy. Don't tell mom and dad. I'm not a big VHF scanner guy. Don't tell dad. But I do a lot of AM and FM DX, and that's kind of my wheelhouse. And I do those at different times of the year. So I've got some SDRs that do both, but I don't need my Perseus to be able to do FM. I need it to do really great AM DX with the Jaguar Pro software, and it does. Is the learning curve steep? I've heard a lot of people say that it is. I didn't feel like it was. It, to me, was intuitive because it's designed and laid out, and the features that are there are built for an AM DXer to AM DX. You're not going to be using this for shortwave. You're not going to be using it to kind of troll through the, or I guess, look through the tropical bands or whatever. So just some things to note. Is it worth the money for the Perseus and the Jaguar Pro software just to have the Jaguar Pro software, since that's the only way you can use Jaguar is with a Perseus? That's going to have to be up to you. To me, yeah, it's been worth it. It's been absolutely worth it. It's completely changed the way I DX. I don't like DXing outside of Jaguar. That's me. Okay, so just some things to think about. I'm going to be putting up here at some point on the website, dxcentralonline.com. I'll be putting up a couple of files that were recorded in Jaguar Pro. So if you don't have a Perseus and you want to try this out and you're kind of on the fence of should I even try to bother, you can load my files into Jaguar Lite, the free version. You can try it out a little bit and kind of see what's there. You don't have access to all the functionality, but you can at least get a sense of kind of what it's like. So I'll be putting some stuff up on social media when those are available for anybody wanting to try it out, because it really is a revolutionary SDR interface for AMDX, okay? So thank you, George, for your kind words and your note here. We appreciate you writing in. If you're wanting to drop us a line, info@dxcentralonline.com. You can drop us an email there. Again, it's info@dxcentralonline.com. The next one comes from Mike. Mike wants to, again, say, he's been really loving the job on the site and the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Mike. Again, we always appreciate the kind words. We like to know that you guys are finding value in the stuff that we're putting out there. A suggestion for a topic, in the event we have not already addressed that, I don't think we have. It would be great to have an instructional step-by-step video on how to tune in stations. As I'm sure you know, it sounds simple, but it's much more complex than it appears. It really is. The perfect example is the medium wave frequency challenge, to see how many stations can be identified on a single frequency. He's got some great equipment, quite a few years in enjoying medium wave DX, but yet to identify any non-US stations on the medium wave band. Have watched the videos, and I use a process and or settings that he's unable to understand or replicate using SDR Sharp. We can take a look at that. I am simply unable to isolate a frequency and blow it up for analysis without bleed over from other adjoining frequencies, making analysis impossible. Would love to see a step-by-step explanation of the art of tuning in stations. Absolutely. It's a great one, Mike. Bring up a great point. We're going to try to do more of that here on the channel, or the live streams when we do them. But also, that's a great idea for a video, too. So keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be doing probably a series. I think that would be probably a series of videos on that. So we'll be doing more of it here on the channel when we do our live streams. And then also probably some series of videos as well to kind of talk a bit about that, about tuning in Latin American stations or tuning in transoceanic. Now, I'm not in a great spot for that. I haven't had a lot of luck with it myself, unfortunately. But we have some tips and tricks we can share, and I have some recordings I think I can use from my time at the Outer Banks for that. And we might be getting in some different folks that might can help us with that a little bit for an interview. We'll talk about that later. All right, so thanks to those of you who wrote in. Appreciate you always dropping us a note. You can ping us on Twitter as well, twitter.com/DXCentral. Either tweet us or send us a direct message. You can also, again, email info@dxcentralonline.com, and that will be a great way to get your questions in if you have anything here for us. I see we have a lot of talk here in the chat, so make sure you join us in the chat. If you're here right now, let us know what you're hearing, what you're tuning in. And we'd love to kind of join along with you. So if you have your radio or your SDR fired up, DX alongside with us. We're sitting right now on 1080 kilohertz, and we're doing some live DX. We did a top of the hour look. We had KRLD Dallas, we had XETUL in Mexico, and we had Radio Cadena Habana in Cuba here at the top of the hour on 1080. And so let's take a look and see if we can still see them. And let's see what you are hearing as well. So let us know. If you have a frequency you want us to check out, drop it in the chat. We'll be happy to go there. This hour of AMDX brought to you by the National Radio Club. NationalRadioClub.org is your website you go to for more information about becoming a member. I just renewed, so I finally remembered to send my money to Wayne. We are renewed for another year of DX News print and electronic versions coming in the mail. So very, very excited to be continuing to be an NRC member after all these years, off and on a little bit. We are here in Jaguar Pro with our Perseus SDR. We have our 16 by 53 foot CAS antenna oriented at 150 degrees right now, which is towards the south. We have a vactrol, which I have a box for right here, where I can use to null everything in the opposite direction at 330 degrees. We also have on this side, we have our RSPdx. This is SDRPlay SDR plugged into our W6 LVP loop. So that is who we also are going to be looking at tonight. I also have a third SDR, our Elad FDM-S3 with our other two CASs, our 22 by 70s. We'll probably switch over to that eventually here. But let's go back to the main rig here, our Perseus with our Jaguar. And let's start there. The cam's out of focus. Let's see if we can get it to focus now. Come on, focus, focus. Is it in focus now? Focus. This is the first beer tonight, I promise, guys. All right, so I believe XETUL might have gone silent, gone QRT, as we say in the ham radio community. And signed off. Mike's not hearing him down in Mexico. I'm not hearing him now as well. I do have, sounds like Radio Cadena Habana in Cuba here now. Hey, Keegan. Oh, no. Did he? That's not good. That's not good at all. Like, serious? Oh, he's sitting on the sideline. I guess he's not too bad. 7 sacks. Damn. I'm pretty sure this is Cadena. Oh, we do need to do a little plug here. Let me jump in here. Be sure to join us over on dxer.ca/blab. That's Colin Newell, one of our DXer friends up in Canada. It's a little chat room that he has, or chat area there he has for AMDXers. So again, that's dxer.ca/blab. I might actually put a little bit up here. I'll put my link, not a link, but I'll put a little URL up here so everyone can see it. Let me shrink that down so it's not quite so. dxer.ca/blab, as you see there at the top of the screen here, above our logo. That's where you want to go to join the chat that we have going on here. as well as our chat. So we have our chat for the channel, for the live stream, and then also Colin's got his chat over here as well. You can do both, not a problem. And also the chat for Colin is always up, even when we're not streaming. So it's a good thing. You want to make sure you bookmark, create yourself an account, and be part of the fun over there as well. It's a great way to share tips, tricks, what you're hearing, and so forth, especially as we get ready for this next week's challenge, which I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say it yet again. Get ready, folks. It's super. This next week is going to be a doozy. It's going to be quite the doozy. What did you just say? Radio what? Radio what? What did you guys hear there? Mike, you know I'm going to need your help, man. I'm out of my element on this stuff. Yeah, Neil, I heard they did that too. Some of the LSU guys did that. They mentioned their high school. A lot of LSU fans are not happy right now about that, by the way, on Twitter. They're going nuts. What is? Whoa, was that a number, Mike? I got an ID here. I'm gonna play it back here. I hear a radio, and I think, I mean, it's, to my very not great ears, it sounds like Radio 70 for 1080. Ah, crap! I lost it. I should have hit record to keep that one. That's on me. My bad. And welcome, Neil, by the way. We'll see if they pop back up again, Mike. I don't know why I didn't hit record to keep that one, but I missed it. We've got the vactrol dialed in.
The show gets interrupted for whatever.
See, if I undo,
for 30 days.
There's Dallas.
GetKim.com.
My money's on the X and Eco Tank going for your school. Oh, dude, it doesn't use cartridges and comes with a ridiculous amount of ink. Oh, it saves me a ton of trips to the store. Yeah. You know MVP Central makes that
Efectivamente, los reportes de sintonía. Hoy se adelantó Hilda de la Caridad Gómez Fue. Está en Arroyo Naranjo. Y saluda a Gilberto Castillo, Gilberto Cárdenas, a Yolanda Tita. Un saludo a la familia. Al igual que a Giselle Mojena, que también nos escucha. Hay
this one right here, Bill.
Varios oyentes, unos cuantos. De verdad, gracias por siempre sintonizar Baila mi ritmo aquí en CMCH Radio Cadena Habana. Tomasita, perdón,
there he is. I thought that was him. I mean, he's doing a lot of the trilling of the R's, like heavily. This guy's been doing it all week.
Luis Zapata y también a Yolanda Tita. Roberto Arredondo Barroso. Radica en Lawton, 10 de octubre. Saluda a Emilio Chacón y a Yolanda Silva en el reparto Casino Deportivo en el Cerro. Emilia Sardiña López en Centro Habana. Saluda a su esposo Rogelio Leiva Hernández. Fran Llerena López.
Yeah.
Saluda a sus hermanos.
Nice one, Bill. Okay, that reminds me. It's been, I promised we were going to do this. If you have logged a new country, let us know in the chat. If you've logged a new state this week, let us know in the chat. And if you've logged a new station, let us know in the chat. We want to celebrate with you here. Because I've got one new logged station this week. Actually, two. Well, no, we did the Cadena one last week. So one new station this week. So if you have some new stuff you've logged this week, brand new to you, country, state, or logging, let us know what it was in the chat. We'll add you to the celebration here in a few.
Ahí también donde está en playa está Reinaldo Valle Arenal, disfrutando y al lado de su familia. Jesús Pérez Agullón Chucho, aquí en el Vedado Capitalino.
All right, Mike.
Yolanda Tita en Arroyo Naranjo. Saludos.
There's that trill.
a todo nuestro colectivo. Gracias. También lo hace Oyelda Gómez.
All right, Mike, we're going to get you one here. I saw that one. I saw that you got the graveyarder from Cuba. Man, that's awesome.
Gracias. Marcelino de la Peña, Bola del Este.
I remember when I got my my graveyarder out of Cuba on 12:30, I heard Progresso. Blew my mind. It was just because of that little song that they play at the top of the hour sometimes. Man, that's what did it. I could hear that. And it was amazing. All right, so now we're starting to fade. So let's go ahead and do some celebrationing here. Is that a word? Celebrationing? So we got a new country for Mike down in Mexico. Managed to get 1540 in Bahamas, ZNS1. Country number 12 for Mike. Good job, my friend. And so we got him in there. We've also got new loggings. We had a new one, XETUL down in Mexico here on 1080. Mike got a graveyarder in Cuba. Make sure you drop the info. I forget all the details, Mike, about your graveyarder that you had. I think it was 1450 out of Cuba. Radio, was it Mayam? I can't remember how you say it. Where is it? Oh, come on. Where's my freaking mouse cursor? Sometimes it does this. It just kind of hides on me and disappears. Where'd it go? If I move my arm, maybe that'll help. We got the new one. I know Mike got his new one. Maya, that's it. Maya Beck. I hope that's how you say it right. On 1450 out of Cuba, we had Cadena or XETUL. And looks like Keegan got him a new one here of XEBJB on 570. Very nice. Yeah, these don't have to be on 1080, guys. Anything you've logged this week that's new, country, state, logging. New stations for Rob, got WWNL, WKAC, WNWI, WKBY, XETUL. Very nice. Brian added in WWNL off from Pittsburgh here on 1080. Awesome. Yeah, so we've got some new ones, and then let's see. Looks like Troy got ZNS2 or ZNS3, sorry, on 810 out of the Bahamas, which was a first for him. So let's go ahead and pop another one of these guys over here. There you go. We got the new country. We got that for Mike. Got that for Troy. I don't know if that was a new country for you, Troy, but I knew the logging was. And for those of you who got the loggings, congratulations, my friend. Looks like Tom also got Puerto Rico number 1, 1660 WGIT. All right. New country, Puerto Rico for Tom. Man, I love that. I love being able to celebrate with you guys. This is so much fun. And we get to see that we're all having a good time and having some fun. Because I tell you, I did do some DX. I didn't have a lot of time for DX, but what little bit I had, I didn't have a lot of success. I'm sure some of you saw my social media post about it, because I had been chasing on 1440 what I was absolutely sure was Radio Marantha on 1440 out of Nicaragua. And I was so excited. I was like, man, I'm just ready to start writing it down in the log. And it turned out to be WWCL running Radio Vision Christiana out of Florida, Lehigh Acres, a station I had already logged. So it took all the wind right out of my sails. And I was fighting some noise this week. And I was fighting just fatigue and everything else. So I didn't really have a chance to do a whole lot of DX. I'm going to change that for this next week, because I am super excited about this coming week. Week 13. Lucky week 13. Man, we're going to have a lot of fun this week with our medium wave frequency challenge for this week. Back to the DX, though. Again, if you have a frequency you want us to check out, be sure you let us know in the chat. We'll hop over there. Otherwise, we're going to keep on for 1080 here for a little bit. We got Radio Cadena, Habana, and Cuba. That's been kind of in and out a little bit. Let's see if they're still there. We also had KRLD. And send some good thoughts out to our friend Stephanie, a friend of the channel. She is about to Gleno out in Hawaii right now, trying to do some DX. She's been fighting noise herself there in the hotel and whatnot. So send some good DX thoughts and vibes out her way that she can experience some great South Pacific DX out there in Hawaii.
La radio cubana le desea muchas felicidades.
You bring up a good point there, Tom. Let's go check that out. Let's see if we can hear them here. Go to 1660. We did it the week we did the expanded band. We had them in here. Let's see if we can hear them again. I'm assuming that's them there. Charles, I have not yet gotten that one. And Brian, we count. I know it's a U.S. territory in ham radio, and most like the NRC, the IRCA counts Puerto Rico as its own country for DX purposes. You'll see that sometimes, like Guam is considered its own country on ham radio and DX purposes. There was one, it was, forget the frequency, was it 910? I think it was 910. There's a Radio Colombia Nacional, or RCN, outlet on 910 that it's in on the island of San Andres y Providencias, and that is actually considered its own country as well, even though it is a Colombian-owned island running a Colombian network. It's considered its own country for DX purposes. So just some things you can always check out. I think, does IRCA still have their country list up? I don't know if NRC does. I know IRCA, I'm pretty sure, has their country list up. You can also go to the ARRL for ham radio. That's what I usually go by. If it's good enough for the ARRL to consider it its own country, then I will as well. Right now on the Perseus, we're running the 16 by 53 foot CAS, pointed at 150 degrees, so pretty much almost south east-ish, kind of like towards this area here. So I briefly had a little Spanish station there. Let me see if I can use the vactrol to kind of get it back in again to see if we've got Puerto Rico here. This was the antenna I heard him on 2 weeks ago very strongly. Oh, yeah, and that's, by the way, one second. Mike brings up a good point. Hawaii and Alaska, both U.S. states, and ham radio at least, I don't remember if they are in IRCA or not, and ham radio, both are considered their own countries as well.
Of course, and he says, your father's a man in the desert, and they die, because that's not going to give
okay, that's relevant radio, so I'm not hearing him now.
So maybe in sharing with your daughter,
DXCC entity. That's what I use, Bill. If it's a DXCC entity with the ARRL, that's good enough for me. Yep, Rick, also another good example. Actually, I have that one. Hold on. Rick mentions a DX test that occurred on 1,000 kilohertz from WVWI down in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And
even if maybe in the moment, Vicky, if your daughter doesn't say anything to you, I wouldn't be surprised if you're
there it is.
gentle, loving mother.
I can get my freaking pages to go.
Thinking about it, and who knows, maybe there will be a breakthrough. It often happens once a year. It truly often happens. Thanks, Vicky. Here's an email.
So here we go. Here's the sticker.
He says,
kind of nice and shiny, Radio 1. This was January 16th, 1995. Got the nice little card there. And then got the letter here confirming me. DX test January 16th, 1995. 5 kilowatts. Added breast. So he had already printed up, but then he needed to add me on there at the bottom of the list there. So That's one of the cherished ones that I have here in my collection of DX tests, because that got me a new country. And that one came in. Almost 30 years ago, if you can believe that. Let me move the mic out of the way. That's the QSL book. That's my QSL book there. AMDX QSL book. And that would be a new country as well. All right, let's pop back down to 1080 again, see what we got. Cuba's still kind of owning the frequency on the Perseus. Let's go back over to the RSPdx here. And on the RSPdx, we're actually operating off of our W6 LVP loop. And it's on a rotor, so let me actually move that rotor around a little bit and see what we can do to get rid of that noise.
There are enough other indicators that I guess I don't really care. And you know, I have to admit that I'm kind of in the camp where I wouldn't really even pay any attention to what all the different links meant. You kind of see something light up and you think, okay, well, did I get a text, an email, this is some kind of notification. And I think it would be nice to have these kind of security ones.
Rick wanted to know if all of my QSLs are from Brasstown. Most of them are, because that's when I was really I was hitting it hard trying to get QSLs back then. I do have a couple that I got back when I was in Greer, South Carolina, back in 2012. I sent out stacks of reception reports, and I probably got 3 or 4 back. And that's when I was like, you know what, I'm done doing it this way. I did get back. I think WBT in Charlotte got me back, and a couple of other larger ones that I realized I didn't have a QSL card for. So I kind of just stopped doing that. For me, the air check is the key nowadays, right? I know a lot of folks still chase QSLs, and that's awesome. And like I said earlier, we have pre-prepared QSLs, reception reports, and cover letters up on the website. You can download it and use it if you want to use that to send out to stations. But for my purposes, it's just I just collect air checks, put them up on YouTube. That's my QSL collection now. Is, you know, if I have an air check, there's my validation. That's my verification that I got it right. Got some good ones in there, though. South Dakota, KOKK. Caught them in the middle of the summer, just randomly in Brasstown. Alberta, CHRB, 1140. They're in there. All right. Oops. All right, so it's still pretty noisy over here on the loop, so we're going to kind of cut that one. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to announce our new frequency for the week. And I promise you're going to love it. I think you guys are going to love it from what I know from our previous conversations we've had here on the channel. So looking forward to seeing what everyone thinks about that. And then we'll kick off that. We'll end the 1080 week 12. We'll wrap that up here at the top of the hour. But we're about just under 4 minutes out, I guess. Or are we? Well, 4 minutes out from a top of the hour time frame here. So we'll get that ready. And when we come back, we'll announce the new frequency. We'll wrap up 1080, and we'll get ready to do the new frequency here. You guys are going to love it. So stay tuned. More DX Central Live coming up. This next hour brought to you by the International Radio Club of America.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by
From the pages of its DX Monitor member bulletin, members of the International Radio Club of America share their domestic and international AMDX loggings. In its Mexican log, a wealth of information can be found of stations from south of the border. Technical guides, sunrise, sunset maps, and more make the IRCA a must-join for any AMDXer. For more information, log on to ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. While the HF bands can be filled with entertaining and intriguing transmissions, how do you know when and where to look? Let Teague Publishing's Global Radio Guide lead the way. In addition to its exhaustive list of time and frequency for international broadcasters, radio hobby icon Gail Van Horn brings you equipment reviews, an SDR buyer's guide, feature articles, and more. Pick up your copy today. Visit teaguepublishing.com for more information. That's teaguepublishing.com. Since 1933, the National Radio Club has been serving AMDXers while providing some of the most in-depth information in the hobby. From the annual NRC AM log, a must-have reference for domestic station information, to antenna design reference manuals, and of course, the DX News member bulletin, which is filled with station information updates, domestic and international loggings, and a whole lot more. Become a member today. For more information, log on to nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
From the DX Central North Shore Studios, this is DXC Live. Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
DX Central Live on Sunday nights here on YouTube. Appreciate everyone being part of the fun. That's you, all of you. Whether you're watching us live or after the fact, doesn't matter. We just appreciate you being here. So we're about to wrap up week 12 of our medium wave frequency challenge. That's 1080 kilohertz going bye-bye. And getting ready to move over to our new frequency of the week for week 13. We're about to do a top of the hour alert here, so I'll grab my device. We'll go ahead and get this ready and get that ready. All right, so we're going to go ahead and proactively get ready for our top of the hour alert because we're about to announce a new frequency for the week. Now, this particular one solves two problems I've been having. I've been racking my brain trying to think, how am I going to do two things? One, I want to incorporate clear channel stations into this. And the problem is, let's say 870, there's not a whole lot there besides WWL, maybe one or two other little stations if you're kind of far away. Or 650, you got WSM, have fun. All right, everybody get WSM and maybe a local station near you during the daytime? Okay, great, we're done. That's it, right? Like 20 logs for the week. That's not fun for anybody. The whole point here is to challenge you and make you kind of get out of your comfort zone of DX and try a frequency that maybe you haven't tried in a while, or dive deep into a frequency, right? The other problem that I've had is I want to incorporate our DXers overseas. This is not just a US thing, right? I want to be able to incorporate our folks overseas who might have things on those split frequencies in the middle between our 10 kilohertz spacing we have here in the US, right? And we've been doing a lot of US frequencies, so our friends overseas are like, well, hell, I want to do something with this, but there's nothing I can really do. Maybe I might be able to hear, a US station on that frequency, but that's about it, So this week, we're going to dive in to solve both of those problems at once. How we're going to do that? Our medium wave frequency challenge frequency of the week. It's everything from 810 to 890 kilohertz. I mean everything. Everything between 810 and 890. You got a split frequency in there? You hearing transatlantic or transoceanic? Count it. You have something on that 10 kilohertz spacing on 860? Count it. Everything between 810 and 890, that's our target zone for the week. I've got our Google form queued up. I'm about to throw the link here in the chat. Everything between 810 and 890. I was going to split it up, but then I got to thinking, if I do that, 810 to 850 is going to be awesome, right? There's some good stuff in there. 860 to 890, 870 ain't got a whole lot. 890 ain't got a whole lot. 880, not going to be. Let's just do the whole damn thing. 810 to 890. I didn't put 800 in there because there's enough there to have fun with all by itself. So we're going to come back to that one later. 810, 890. Let's start right now with a top of the hour alert, and we're going to dive in. And this hour of Live DX is brought to you by International Radio Club of America, IRCAonline.org. And I know we actually kind of talked about this last week. I think someone actually mentioned kind of a grouping of, I think Mike, maybe it was you. Someone mentioned a grouping of frequencies, and it got me to thinking, and that's when I realized, we can actually kill two birds, one stone here. We can let our overseas friends in to have some fun and get some logs in, and we can get all these clear channel stations in, and there's enough fun stuff in there to have a good time. So 810 to 890 kilohertz. So let me go ahead and drop that link in there. Ba-doop. Yeah, 870 is completely a goner for me. So you guys have fun, right? I'm hoping to see some Argentinas in there on 870. I want to see some. I've heard Ecuador there before I moved here to Louisiana. So you guys can have some fun on 870. I'll just kind of sit here and watch. 810, let's start with you. Again, we're pointing south right now. And I tell you what, if this grouping goes well, this isn't the last time I'll do this. We might try a 700 grouping for some of those 700 clear channels, right? I mean, there ain't much on 720 or 750 or 760 or 780, right? We might group some of those together as well. And I know there's a lot more transatlantic options there as well. It's not the best time of the year for transatlantic. We missed that boat earlier in the year, but there's still probably at least some options if the sun will cooperate. So I'm hearing some football in there. I hope the YouTube doesn't get me in trouble on this one because it's a superb owl. All right, so let's use our vactrol here to dial in some nulling. I just want to see, there's a Progresso here. What is the Progresso doing right now? Okay, so I'm not hearing that on 810. Good. Yeah, Bill, that's what I'm hoping to be able to snag this week. I really am. I'm hearing... I know Columbia's here. We have a Caracol outlet here, widely heard. There's a Puerto Rican here, pretty good strength, possibility. I know Mike's got quite a few Mexican stations down there that might keep him busy. We have some Central Americans here. There's a Brazilian. Nice. 50K Brazilian. That'd be nice. Maybe our friends up in the Northeast might get a shot at that. And we'll come back here after the top of the hour. We'll come back to like 820 and some of the other frequencies and see what we're hearing there. Right now, we're just going to start here on 810, but we're going to work our way up to 890. Kansas City is another one here that's pretty commonly heard, WHB. I hear a lot of WSJC in McGee, Mississippi. I'm assuming the football game is probably Kansas City, which is why I'm trying to null them out. I don't want to get hit here by the YouTube monster. Is that Bahamas? I thought I heard a 1540 ID or mention in there. And that voice sounded a little Caribbean. Someone, if you have a chance to check the hymn, okay. Yes. Man, I've been needing that one. Oh, man. Looks like the Bengals are not going to pull it off. The damn Rams. They are, how many K? 10K. I don't think they are at night. Let me go ahead and mark this in my big book. I'm assuming the Spanish station is probably Caracol, maybe, or Mexico. Is that them?
O por ejemplo que no estaba bien, esas emociones no estaban bien, exactamente. Entonces ahí también hay un cambio para empezar a entender las emociones, son importantes y hay que escuchar todas son súper importantes y te dan una luz espectacular y también tienen una sombra alguna. Sí, exactamente. Entonces el tiempo se nos acaba, pero entender nuestras emociones, entender las emociones de los demás.
That's a new one for us here in Louisiana.
Transmitir de una mejor manera.
I didn't think I was going to get.
Uno de los capítulos que trae este libro, Crianza desobediente, educar.
I didn't think I had a shot at Bahamas here. Really.
Carolina Molina. Carolina, muchas gracias, oyentes. Por redes sociales, por como @carolina.molina.hoy. Espero que sigamos conversando porque hay mucha tela para cortar, Clarita. Gracias por esta invitación. Claro que sí, a ti muchísimas gracias. Por aquí nos volveremos a escuchar y a todos ustedes que tengan una excelente semana. Gracias por estar aquí y que disfruten la vida, que vivan la vida. Un beso, un abrazo, chao.
What you got, Mike?
Caracol Radio. Más compañía.
There we go, folks. Beautiful ID.
El pulso del fútbol de Caracol Radio, con César Augusto Londoño y Oscar Rentería.
Yo la verdad es que no creo que el Tolima todavía sea grande, Granada. No está.
¿Usted no cree?
Hablamos
¿Qué tiene que hacer el Tolima para convencerle, César, por Dios?
Ser más veces campeón y tener presencia internacional. Si algunos dicen que Once Caldas no es grande y ganó una Copa Libertadores, el Tolima en este momento tampoco es de los grandes.
Yo respeto mucho a los Caldas. Sí, y además el título que consiguió nos honra a los colombianos. O sea, es una cosa, el Tolima hoy hace rato suena más que los Caldas.
Very happy.
Todavía no es grande, qué pena.
El pulso del fútbol, lunes a viernes, 1 de la tarde. Dirige César Augusto Londoño.
We've got the link for the Google form here in the chat for everyone. And there's Caracol in there as well. Do I have Caracol yet? Let me see. Not here. Northeast Alabama, that's got to be Jacksonville. That's a new one for me here in Mandeville. And I heard WCKA. That's not a new one for us here, but I did hear them in there. Let me get that call letter from Caracol. HJCY, that's what I thought. And that is considered Bogota. They are 60K. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Not a new lifetime, but definitely a new one here in Mandeville for us. RCN, this is the big one, is 810, Caracol. Let me look. I don't think, not that I remember, Rick. This, by the way, y'all, is a really good one for you to sit on, 840. Look around sunset-ish on the East Coast. You've got a shot at Haiti here, 4VEH on 840. That's a really good one for you to check out. I'm just double checking here for Rick to see if we have any RCN outlets out of Columbia here. I think it's mostly Caracol in this little grouping here. Yeah, it's just Caracol, Rick. Big one being 810. That's the main one for everybody. And it's 60K, so it's got a big signal.
And I left and I came here and I believed in myself. So the same thing I told these young guys before the game, bet on you. And I'm betting on everything.
We also have, I don't remember the night power on this Puerto Rican, and I think they do power down. Maybe sign off entirely. So this could be another good one around sunset, especially East Coast folks. Look to the southeast. You have a 50K station in Puerto Rico that does sign off, it looks like, I think, pretty sure. Or at least powers down. So that could be a good one for you to look early in the evening. So we had WCKA Jacksonville, Alabama in there. We've got Caracol. We've got Freeport, ZNS 3. Those are the three we've heard so far here on 810. I'm going to come back now. Let's go back to the top of the hour's time that we just had. And I'm sure 820 is going to be BAP for most of us out of Fort Worth. They're one of the strongest stations on the band for me here in Louisiana. But I am pointing south right now. So let's see if maybe that might give me something else. If I remember right, I have a Mexican station here on 820 I've heard so far. No. Columbus, Ohio, and Fort Worth. That's all I've got on 820.
You know they have more than just that pillow, which will give you the best sleep of your life. At mypillow.com, yes, Mike Lindell has also come up with an incredible list of other products, and one of them I want you to know about.
I'm trying not to stream the game here, right? I don't want to get in trouble. I'm going to give you guys a tip on 8:30 too, by the way. Give me a second here. Oh, there you go. 820 is a great one for Radio Rouleau out of Cuba. You just heard the Morse code ID there. So this is a good one if you don't have Rouleau on 820. This is the week to do it. Let me rewind that again. And I haven't got them yet. That's another new one. Yeah. All you have to hear is the RR Morse code, my friends, and you know you got them. That is I heard the time pip that one time. Top of the minute, little tone. 411 from Mandeville. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this span of frequencies that we have here. Some things for you guys to look out for us all to kind of keep an eye out on. We talked about 810. There's a strong Columbia in there, 60 kilowatt station, Caracol radio. You heard the ID there. That's what you're looking for. And they do have a web stream you can parallel up against. So if you're needing Columbia or you want another Columbia in the log, you don't already have Caracol, that's a great one to look for. And obviously ZNS 3 out of the Bahamas, Freeport, Bahamas. They're on 810. Another good one to look for. They've been widely heard recently. A lot of DXers have been hearing them. I heard them for the first time tonight from Mandeville. I heard them last in Charleston. That was easy. They were just down the coast from me. But now I got a little bit of land between us, but I still was able to manage to pick them in. So, and this is another one you can keep an eye out for there. On 810 as well, obviously, I think WHB Kansas City is one of the larger ones. For a lot of folks, WGY up in Schenectady is another one that a lot of folks are going to be able to hear. So that's another one to look for. I think a good sunset sunrise one, especially for my East Coast, Midwest folks, WCKA, Jacksonville, Alabama, they get out. They've got a really, really good one here. So give that one a shot and see what you can pull in. Murfreesboro, Tennessee is another good one. I've heard quite a bit, different places I've lived. So give them a shot. Obviously, KGO in San Francisco is going to be big for our West Coast folks. I heard them last when I was in California, so I know that one gets out pretty well. Let's see, 820 kilohertz, WBAP Fort Worth. That's the big gun here. Most everyone's going to be able to pull that one in. Looks like we've got a big one. I don't know this one myself. Up in Utah, looks like an IBOC station. I'm not familiar with them, but 820 WBAP in Fort Worth is a big one. This one down here, WWBA down in Largo, Florida, gets out very, very well, especially sunset, sunrise. Look for them. Listen for that reload, top of the hour, or top of the minute, rather, tone and Morse code ID. It can be kind of buried in there, but if you hear that RR in Morse code, you got yourself reload. Looking forward to 8:30 now. Obviously, CCO up in Minneapolis, big gun there. You got in the East Coast, you got CRN in Worcester, so that's a big one there. TRU in Kernersville for the folks in the Southeast, that's going to be a big one for you. I don't remember, is it KLAA in Orange County? Is that the big one out west? I'm pretty sure from what I remember it was. So those are the kind of the three or four big landmarks there. But for those of you looking for some other stuff, we've got another Relo outlet here. This one down here in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, HIJB, they get out very well. That's my first Dominican I heard lifetime was out of this one here. So look for them. I do believe, if I remember right, they have a live stream you can compare to. So look for them, HIJB, emisora out of Dominican Republic. We've also got here in my area, neck of the woods, KGLA and Norco. But let me tell you something, they have been... I don't think that might be them. They've been pretty silent lately, I'll tell you that. I have heard dead open carrier from them for a while. I'll have to go back and check them during the daytime and see, but that can be one sunset, sunrise you can look for as well. Moving to 840 kilohertz, WHAS in Louisville, obviously a big one on this side of the country. KXNT out of Vegas, and obviously on that side of the country, a big one for you there. Some other ones to keep an eye out, though. I mentioned already, we have a WV outlet here in Cuba that's widely heard, and I've got an air checkup on the YouTube channel for them. You can listen for their very little unique signature melody that they play that goes along with their ID. Listen out for that, but go check out on my Cuba playlist on the air checks on the YouTube channel here. You can find one for WV. We've got 4VEH in Haiti. They can be heard during sunset times. So go look for them. That can be a new country for some folks that haven't gotten that one yet. Obviously, we have some stations in Mexico. We don't have anything prominent South America that I can remember. We do have a Puerto Rican outlet, but they're not widely heard. I think your best bets are going to be the WV and 4VEH in Haiti if you're looking down into the Central Caribbean area, that kind of thing. Obviously, there's some other little smatterings of stations around as well, but those are kind of the main ones we'd be looking for, is Vegas, Louisville, and then down in here into Cuba. I think it'll be the most widely heard for this week on that freak. 850, obviously out west, it's KOA Denver. That's the big one. We hear them here in Louisiana, not super strong, not as much as they used to be, but they're there. This one here in Birmingham, WXJC, gets out very well. That's going to be another one that's widely heard. Obviously, up east, you've got EEI in Boston. That's going to be widely heard. We've got KNR, Cleveland, another one very widely heard, I'm sure, this week. Also, for our kind of mid-Atlantic folks, southeast, you got TAR in Norfolk. That's going to be another one that a lot of folks are going to be hearing, I'm sure. Looking down into the Caribbean, not a ton. We do have a Relo outlet here, again, the Progresso as well, so that's a possibility. Not super strong. I would imagine the Relo is probably going to be your better bet. And also, we do have a Colombian here out of Bogota, a 50K station, so look for them. I don't remember hearing them, but that could be another outlet there for you. Obviously, 860, we've got CJBC, going to be doing French out of Canada. That's one that a lot of folks are going to hear there out of Toronto. Dominant for a lot of us, so look for that French there out of CJBC. We've also got KTRB in San Fran. Going to be another one that a lot of folks are hearing as well. Here in New Orleans, where I am, KONO out of San Antonio. The country music kind of owns this one. I think it's country music. What, or is this the country station? Or am I getting that confused? Oldies, rather. Sorry, I'm getting that confused with 680. I'll come back to that one later. 860, Kono, Oldies. Another one that gets out pretty well. The Rouleau here is widely heard. You're going to hear Rouleau over a big portion of the country here, so definitely check 860. Listen for that Morse code ID. Other than that, there is a Lavaz outlet in Colombia here, another 50K station. There's a Mundial in Venezuela here on 860. Could be heard. Those are the main big ones. So look for those. 870. Obviously, for me, this is it. WWL, New Orleans. Although I have been able to phase them out just enough to get the Rouleau underneath them, this is one of the most widely heard Rouleaus there is on the band because there's not a whole lot there. So listen for the top of the minute Morse code IDs and the tones here. Rouleau is a good bet for a lot of you. Up in the Northeast, I know Maine, the only shot that some folks have at Maine is WLVP up in Gorham. They do sign off at night. I think it's either that or reduced power, but it's a station that a lot of folks are using to be able to get Maine up in the northern half of the country. You got KPRM in Minnesota. I know that one's pretty widely heard. KRLA in Glendale. That's the West Coast one that's pretty widely heard as well. But big one here is going to be WWL. Tip for you, though. When I was in Charleston, I did hear this one, Radio Cristal, a 16K station out of Ecuador. They do have a live web stream you can double check against. So if you're hearing Spanish music under WWL, go check the stream for this one. It could give you a chance at Ecuador into your logbook if you don't have them already. But those are the big ones. I think this Concepcion de la Vega, Radio La Vega, at the Dominican Republic is another one that's heard by some folks. I've heard them before when I was away from WWL's shadow, so that's another one you can try for there in the Caribbean. 880, obviously our big one here on 880 is going to be on the East Coast, WCBS in New York. Everyone's going to be listening for that one. I know we've got KIXI out of Seattle on the West Coast and a couple of others. There's KKMC, Gonzales, Cal. You've got one in Arizona as well. KRVN, another one in the Midwest. A lot of you, our Midwest DXers, are going to be looking for that one, 50K. And then KLRG in Arkansas is actually a decent one to look for from what I remember hearing them during daytime, if I remember correctly. Or if they're still, are they silent though? No, they're on. Classic rock. Okay, yeah, Arkansas is back on, is on. Other than that, there is a Caracol outlet on 880. There's a Rouleau on 880. I'd say probably the most common Latin I hear here is Progresso. You can bump them up against 890 because there's a Progresso on 890 we'll look at here in a minute. But 880 is a Progresso outlet as well, another one to look for. Let's move up to 890 now, the end of our spectrum here we're looking at for this week. Big Progresso outlet, 200 kilowatts. This is a flamethrower Progresso that you'll hear in addition to WLS and their 50K out of Chicago. That's going to be probably your dominant station for a lot of folks. Progresso is going to also be a very good one to listen for. Listen for their top of the hour song that they like to play. I don't remember what hours they play. I think midnight's one of them. Cuban time. There's an air check of it as well on our Cuban playlist here on the YouTube channel, so go check that out. It's easy to hear. I remember hearing on a graveyard frequency from Charleston, sticks out like a sore thumb. So if you hear Spanish but you're not really able to tell what they're saying or anything, listen for the song. That's going to be a really, really good one there for you. Obviously, LS out of Chicago is a big one. I think I remember this one, KYWN. I remember hearing them, I'm pretty sure, when I was in Cali last time. So I'm guessing they get out pretty well on the West Coast. I don't remember a lot being there outside of that. So yeah, that's a little tour there. Oh, this one here, WBAJ, Blythewood, East Coasters, looked for that during sunset, sunrise. They are 50K day sign off, big signal, and they've been known to go a little late from what I remember when I was in Charleston. So keep a lookout for that one if you're needing South Carolina in your logbook. All right. That's our little tour of 810 to 890. I know a lot of you guys have probably been giving your tips and information here as well in the chat, so kudos for that. So if you're watching this after the live, be sure to check out the chat replay as well, and you'll get some more tips and tricks. I know I've been seeing it kind of just going there. So All right, so that's a lot of stuff we're going to be getting into this week. We're going to cut it short this week and give you guys a chance to go get started on this one. This is a big one, 810 to 890. Anything goes. That does include anything transatlantic. Let me just do it really quick while I'm thinking about it. Look over here onto 890. What do we have here between 810? We have an 810 is a transatlantic frequency. There's 819, 828, 837, 846, 855, 864, which I think I do have something there. I think it was R&E out of Spain I had on 864 from Charleston. 873 is one. Obviously here for me, that's a wash. 882 is another. And then, you know what? I'm going to throw in 891. So we're going to go from 810 to 891 so we can pull Algeria in there, okay? So I'm going to update the form. This is 810 to 891. So we can, if you have a shot at Algeria, you can pull them in here, okay? So 810 to 891 is our medium wave frequency challenge grouping of the week. Everything between 810 and 891, okay? That's going to be our, and that's anything on the 10K spread for U.S. stations, any of these 9K spreads as well in between. Everything between 810 and 891. That is our medium wave frequency challenge frequencies of the week, all right? So we're taking a look rather at what we have here available to us. There's a lot, obviously, a lot of really good DX capable options here for you. A lot of Latins, some Caribbeans, maybe some stuff on the Pacific, East, or Atlantic side, maybe some stuff down in the Pacific. So there you go. Those are some options for you there. Hopefully you guys have a wildly successful week full of DX this week. So I've got the Google form. I'm going to go update it really quick with the 891 on there. We're going to send that out to everybody on Twitter, twitter.com/DXCentral. Going to send it to everybody on the Facebook groups as well. We'll put that up here in a few minutes. I'll hit the reflectors with it because this is a big one, guys. There's a lot to get to here. There's even more here than we had in that expanded band when we did the full expanded band here. There's a lot more DX here. So this is going to be a enormous week of DX for us to be able to get through. So get your radios ready. Everything between 810 and 891 is fair game, starting from 0300 tonight, UTC. So basically what we just hit here at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock Central Time through 0300 next Monday. That's where your reception window is for 810 to 891. Thank you as usual, everyone, for your support and jumping on and being part of the live stream here with us every week, every Sunday night at 1945 Central, 0145 UTC. We appreciate you all being here and being part of the fun. Thank you, everyone. Take care, my friends. 73, Best of DX. We'll see you next time right here on DX Central Live next Sunday. Take care, friends.